Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And I have all kinds of friends with me today. I have Boo Radley, and I have Pee-Pee the Flying Chihuahua. And they said, we want to be in the video, Dad. So they're going to be in the video today because I have some exciting news to tell. This is a different video today. This is not a typical Peter Monn video. So, or Peterisms video. Let me just get into what I want to say, okay? Because I know a lot of people are like, what are you talking about? What are you teasing? I've teased this idea out on my vlog, and I thought a lot about it last night. I thought long and hard, and then I was driving around today, and I just couldn't get the idea out of my mind. So, as you know, my channel Peterisms is a place where I come and tell my story. I come and tell stories of addiction and recovery, of being gay and being part of the LGBTQIA plus, community or spectrum. I talk about grieving. I talk about being married. I talk about love. I talk about loss. I talk about all kinds of things, careers, education. I have so many different stories that make up my life, right? And one of the things that is a benefit and a privilege of doing this is that you guys respond by sharing so many of your stories. You tell me so many of your stories to do with addiction and recovery and being married and having your kids and what your kids are like and problems with your kids and problems with your in-laws and your education and your careers and on and on and on. You guys share all of your stories with me. So much of your life you share. And it is amazing. It is such a privilege to be able to have somebody allow you into their life, There's a lot of people out there that don't allow us in their lives. I'm sure each of us have somebody like that out there, even no matter how close we are with them. They just will not let us in to their life. About a year and a half ago, I saw a TED Talks by one of my favorite authors, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She's a Nigerian author. And the video was called The Danger of a Single Story. And I will link it below because I think it is important for everybody to see this video. And in the video, she talks about the danger of a single story as a Nigerian author. And she shares many stories within this one larger story about her experience as an author. Her experience of being a Nigerian person coming to the United States and what that experience was like for her. She talks in there about the fact that in Nigeria, they have many different ideas, many different stories of what the United States looks like. Because from outlets like television and newspapers and books and movies, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of different stories or versions of what the United States looks like. You could see the Wild West, you could see New York City. You could see, I don't know, The River Runs Through It or Legally Blonde. There are so many different stories of what the United States looks like. But when you only have one story, as many of us do in the United States, we only see one story of what Nigeria looks like. Do we really know unless we've been there? If we have many different stories coming our way, do we know? Or do we have one basic idea of what Nigeria looks like based on one stereotypical story? And she says in her video something that's pretty profound, I think. She says, the single story creates stereotypes. And the problem with stereotypes is not that they are untrue, but that they are incomplete. They make one story become the only story. And whether your story is a love story or a comedy, a drama that's, highly tragic and sad, whether your story is about addiction and recovery or how to bake a cake, whether your story is about being a greeter at Walmart or being a lawyer, in New York City, whether your story is about how you met your partner or husband or wife or, your first child or having twins, no matter if your story is your best friend being your grandmother or a road trip that you took one time, no matter if your story is any millions of these things that make up a story collective, we each have a story, and all of these stories have learning experiences in them. All of these stories have ways for us to learn and remain teachable. And it's something that I say on a pretty regular basis on my channel. So many of you reach out there to me on a regular basis. And I had 4 specific emails just since the 1st of June that really profoundly impacted me. And 3 of them are very, very personal, so I'm going to keep them kind of anonymous. One person reached out to me and said, you know, and often I receive messages from people that say, I really want to tell my story, but I'm not sure I want to start a YouTube channel, or I'm really sure I want to tell my story, but I don't know where to do it. Should I write a blog? What should I do? Should I write a book? And the reality is I think for many of us, we realize we have a story, but we don't know what outlet to share our story. And I have really beat it like a dead horse that all of you out there have a story. Your stories are important. They make up who you are. And all of us should share our stories because all of us are important. Each of our stories are important. And the more of us that share our stories, the more of us who don't feel so all alone, because there is at least one person out there that relates to what you're going through. You're helping people by sharing your story. Since the beginning of June, I've had several people reach out to me that really, really profoundly impacted me. I had somebody that was elderly say to me, I don't know that I have much longer here, you know, and there are things that I want to share about my life that I have learned. I had 2 people reach out to me with terminal illnesses that said that they wanted to share their story with their children in the format of a video, but they didn't know if they wanted to start a YouTube channel, but that they knew that that was something that was important to them. I've had so many people reach out to me and say, I want to share my story, I'm scared. I don't know where to do that. I don't know what to do. I think that what I have learned since starting all of my channels and having so many people reach out to me is that the one cool thing about being alive is the shared human experience. If we can't get anything else out of this life, the one cool thing is that we all have a shared human experience. No matter what you're going through, there is somebody else out there that has either gone through it or will go through it. And I think that's why my channels are so relatable. Not because I'm fantastic and cool, which I may be. Not because I have it all figured out, which I don't. But because I think I'm just a human being like everybody else, and my stories are relatable, and that means the world to me. I love that people watch my videos and relate to them. I get so much out of that, right? That I want to do something to give back. I'm at a point in my life where what my life stands for really means a lot to me. Things that I create must mean something. There must be intention behind what I do. And I love my drama channel. I have so much fun on that channel, and I love making people laugh. I think laughter is a cure-all for a lot of things. But it won't solve the world's problems. And I do think that there is a place for all of us to share our stories. I think there is a place called The Storytellers, and it is going to be my new channel. I have had the privilege of having you guys share many of your stories with me, and I love it. I read your stories that you share with me about addiction. I read your stories that you share with me about lost children, lost loves, careers that you can't chase anymore, loneliness, comedy and funny stories, love stories of how you met. And what I want to do is give everyone out there a place where they can share their story if they have a YouTube channel or if they don't. So I'm starting a new channel, and it is called The Storytellers. I will link it below. It has absolutely nothing on it yet except for an email, which is also linked below. If you want to be part of this and you think you want to share your story, please reach out to me via that email. This is how the channel will go. I am going to share the first story. I'm not really sure what that story will be yet. From that point on, it will be all your stories. I will simply watch the videos and see if I think they are deemed appropriate, which I would have to guess that unless they were way out there, they're all going to be appropriate, and get your consent and upload them to the channel. And what I'm hoping is, no matter what your story is, that there is no singular story. There can be 50,000 recovery stories on there, 15 videos about working at Walmart, 10 videos on how to make a cake. It doesn't matter because each of our stories are separate. Each of our stories are different. I'm excited about this project. I can't wait to start it. It's been something I've been talking about in my vlog and teasing out. I'm not sure yet when I'm gonna start it. I'm probably looking the middle of July to the beginning of August. I wanna get some videos ready. I wanna talk to some people that I think their videos are really important. About a week ago, somebody made a video talking about their story. They shared their story of assault that they had gone through. His name is Danny, and his channel is called Woofy Socks, and I will list it below as well. And it made me realize by watching this video through tears was that there was a freedom that he was going through by sharing his story. I want to offer a place for everybody to share their story, if but to only help one person. I think that the thing about the common human experience is that there's always one person out there that goes, yes, yes, that's me, I get it. And then as a result of that, we don't feel so all alone. I'm trying to get this quote by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie because I love it so much. At the end of her video, she says, when we reject the single story, when we realize that there is never a single story about any place, we regain a kind of paradise. Well, I'm not sure about that. But I think it's time to reject a single story and offer a place for everyone who wants to share their story. And that place will be the storytellers. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.